y'all doing? Give me one moment. I'm like still scrambling from being home. Seems to be like a theme for me where I'm scrambling to catch up with the live stream. Just give me one moment. How are y'all doing? I think I've said this before. I think I probably say it in every live stream where I wish I could play some type of background music so we can just fully vibe together, but I don't think I can. It just feels so weird not to have music playing since that's all I do for my videos, right? I'm constantly playing something, some type of nice background music. Hello, Burnt Feathers, how are you? Alright. Let me get into this. Hello. How do I pronounce your name? Aladar? Aladar? Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. I'm actually feeling kind of blah right now, so I appreciate that compliment. All right. I promise I'll put the laptop away so it's not as obnoxious. All right. But I still want to be able to see the chat. Hello, CH, you're new. How are you? Hello, Arsa. How are y'all doing tonight? Or I guess what time is it? Where are y'all all from right now? Let me know where y'all are from. Hello, Kiara. Oh, I have to my head's cut off. I'm only ever doing general questions. I don't do specific questions. I just like to let Spirit relay whatever message comes forward, Arsa. I do have pick a cards on my channel for specific, I do have a yes and no one, but yeah, I just like to let whatever flow from Spirit. Cleveland, no need to be sorry, but yeah, I'm gonna be shuffling the cards for a little bit, just a little bit more, and then I'll start picking people. You don't need to be sorry. You don't know. There's no reason to be sorry. You didn't know, Arsa. I hope I didn't come off as I was being sassy or mean towards you. I really didn't mean that. I can't expect you to know what I'm doing since it's not like I put any details to what I'm doing. It's kind of all just willy-nilly. Lots of purple. Is there purple? Hello, Mercedes. Actually, you know what? We'll do... Now that I'm thinking about it, I am in the mood to do specific questions. So, whatever specific question y'all have, you can leave it in the comments. How we're going to do this is I'm going to just pick people in the chat icons. Oh, yeah, they are purple. How we're going to do this is I don't do a list. I just go with whoever I feel called to. I do ask, though. I don't like it when people spam my chat of just asking for a reading. I will ask people once and be like, okay, who would like a reading? And I take a mental note. Because here's the thing, when it comes to these type of readings, I like to just get I don't like to force a message. Whenever I'm doing these, I like to have it free flowing. So it's I like to be able to, it sounds so cheesy and extra, and I really don't mean it to be, but it's I want to be able to, whenever I feel called to, giving a reading to somebody, I don't want it to feel forced, right? I feel like a forced message is kind of hard to really come through. So, as I was saying, yeah, so just let me know once whenever I do ask, and then I'll keep a mental note of it, I promise. Kiara, that's not kind of a question I could go with tarot reading, because that's kind of a little bit too at that point. I would have to pull a lot of cards, and that's something I would need to be paid for at that point. No need to be sorry. I get there's no reason to be sorry. I'm just letting y'all know wherever, there's nothing wrong with, like, I'm just setting where my boundaries are. You don't know where my boundaries are until I say them, right? No need to be sorry. Arsa, I feel called to you right now. Do you have I think you asked for a question. And what did y'all eat today? I always start that with my friends. I always ask them what they've eaten today. Slate spiritual path and how that's going. Hello, Lee. I think I said hello to you before. Hopefully I did. Nothing? Oh, you didn't want a reading? Oh, wait. You said nothing for you didn't eat anything. Pork and collard greens. I made a lot of collard greens actually a couple weeks ago, Kiara. Cleveland, Ohio. I would love to be in Cleveland. You're on a diet. Crab cakes, shrimp pasta. I'm not a fan of seafood, I'm gonna be honest. Hello, Lady B. Alright, so while I wait for Arsa to see if they had a question or if they just would like a reading, I'm going to do you, Slate. You had a cheat day and had fast food. There's nothing wrong with that. Past, new or past coming in if you feel drawn. Of course, Spirit and Feather. You like about your job? Okay, Arsa, let's do that. It's cold here. It is cold here. And yeah, it's cold where I'm at as well. Though, like, if you notice in any of my video, I notice it whenever I'm editing. There'll be times where I'm speaking and you can see my breath come out while I'm doing the readings. And I just find it so funny. Arsa, you'd like to know about your job. Okay. So, are you thinking about transitioning from, I mean, you don't have to answer because I'm just going to go like a free flow. We have the Two of Swords for you. Two of Swords, Five of Swords, and then Seven of Swords. So this is kind of giving me an energy of, whenever I see swords is air energy. And usually this is kind of like when someone's like in their head. So this is what I feel like is you currently. There's some type of guardedness when it comes to like what I guess pertaining to, I guess it's hard for me to like speak in too specifics just because you just would like to know about your job in general. But I do feel like there's like a guarded energy from you. And with the Five of Cups, if you look at the Five of Cups, there's kind of like this, usually this is the type of person that's kind of struggling with their inner battle of like wanting to move on from something, but also wanting to stay where they are because there's like a fear of like them not being able to go back to where they were at one point. So if we're talking about in a job sense, there's kind of like maybe there's like a level of being guarded about wanting to do something else, perhaps because we have the Seven of Swords where it's like you're scrambling to do something, right? You look at this individual and they're scrambling to like get things going, carrying a bunch of swords, and they're all just dropping all around you, right? So, I mean, I guess you have to read in between the lines at that point, Arsa, where it's like if Spirit's gonna bring that forward, I guess it's something to like start considering, like, well, I guess let's pull a couple more cards actually for that. Do you want Cleveland snow? No, I mean, I'm from, well, I guess I'm not technically from New York. I had my early childhood in New York in the country area. So I'm used to snow. We get snow here in Washington as well. I like looking at snow, but I don't like, it gets old quickly for me, especially when it's like, it's nice to look at when it's freshly, hello, shuffling, when it's freshly like dropped, right? But when it gets dirty and just like nasty, it's like, hello, Brandy. So let's jump into this. So Arsa, I pulled 3 more cards for you just in terms of like some insight in terms of your job. After those 3 cards, we have the Knight of Fire, Five of Fire, and the Two of Water. So the Five of Fire talks about competing goals. I'm sorry, there was like some type of something that popped up on my screen. With the Five of Fire, this is talking about conflicting with, talks about conflict with other people. And when you have Two of Water, this kind of hints to me like maybe that's part of like your fear of wanting to like transition from something else is because you don't want to upset somebody that you kind of hold closely to, or you don't want your friendships affected. But you are kind of being with this Knight of Fire, this talks about an event that needs attention and time is of the essence and to think things through carefully. So I'm not sure how that's obviously pertaining in your life in specific, Arsa. If I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Um, it feels as if with that kind of setup, it's one of those things that where a decision needs to be made. You're also in Washington. Hello, something something. Brandy, I think I said hello to you. Seems to be a lot of energy around you. Is there? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there is. I'm just always surrounded by a lot of crystals, actually. And with all the craziness that I do on and off camera. That sounds so weird when I say it like that. All right. Now there's Slate. Slate wanted insight on how their spiritual path is doing. How is everyone? Hello, everyone that is new. How this is going to work is let me know if you have a specific question. Otherwise, I will do a general reading for you for whatever messages come forward to you. Just let me know in chat whenever I do ask, but don't spam my chat because, you know, I like to interact. There's no wait list or like list to go by. I just go for whoever I feel called to. And, you know, so it's like, let me know your question. I'll be patient with you as long as you're patient with me. And we can just vibe while I get to your question at some point. I am doing this every single night, right? So I promise you I'll be able to get to you. Just Lucy, you're in Queensland? Yeah, I live like pretty much like right on the border between Washington and Canada. And before all this pandemic stuff, I used to be like the perfect distance between to go to like Vancouver in Canada or to, I mean, I still go to Seattle randomly, just to like sit in a hotel. But yeah, like where I live is just like such a perfect medium for everything. So, hello Sharon, how are you doing? Ugh, I really wish I could play music. I have to like see if there's like copyright free music that I can like listen to. Because the thing is, like, I want to be able to have this posted, and I don't want YouTube to go crazy on me. Hello, Miss Peace. Thank you. All right. So for you, Slate, we have, for your first row, we have Six of Water, the Wheel card, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Raziel, the Hermit. So Six of Water talks about reminiscing about, it's usually like someone that's looking in the past about something. So I pulled the clarifier, the Fool card. So this is kind of like pairing where it's like a, I don't know, I guess in terms of like your spiritual path slate, if this is, obviously that's what the intention of this spread is for. This is kind of letting me know of, you're kind of being asked to have like a little bit more, I get how I would like reference this is someone that's like, this is kind of like an energy of usually having expectations for certain experiences based off of someone else's or like past teachings or like past experiences. So what do I mean by this? I mean, if I were to tell you, I always do this. If I were to tell you how it's like to connect to Archangel Michael, right? I can tell you what my experience when it comes to connecting to Archangel Michael. So like if I tell you it's like, oh, I feel like just like a heat sensation all around me, and that's when I know he's in the space. For you, it might be entirely different, right? So if you continuously try to connect to Archangel Michael with just this type of expectation of what you were told from the past, you're kind of limiting yourself, right? So I guess this is more so of a card asking you to self-reflect on like why it is that you do the practices that you do and why it is that you believe in what it is that you currently believe in. Are you believing, not to say that you're on the wrong path or anything like that. It's more so one of those like self-reflection moments, which is I feel like always necessary for anyone that's practicing a spiritual path, of being able to reaffirm to themselves the why it is they believe in something. If they can't speak it them to themselves and defend their belief system to themselves, how can you truly be able to walk a spiritual path that's like meant for you? Just because I tell you, you can respect my opinion, right? You can, you know, respect me as an individual, but that doesn't mean that like my experience with Archangel Michael is going to be somehow necessary to be put on a pedestal for you to just reference. And you know, I kind of got lost a little bit of track of what I was trying to explain there, but it's basically what I'm trying to say is like reflect on your path. Don't feel like you need to follow a certain path just because like someone that you know or respect has that type of experience, because that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be your reality, because you have the wheel card and the 5 of cups coming in as well, where it's like there is like a little bit of hesitation of wanting to do a detachment from something, a detachment from a perspective, which again is kind of like one of those inner battles of being like, oh, like like you kind of have to value your own experiences more than someone else, even if you do respect everyone else's like belief systems or like experiences, and you, even if you put them on a pedestal and you feel like their experiences are like better, you know, it just is it can go into that deep. Anyone that's in the metaphysical path knows it can go into a deep spiral for that. So really this is what I would, yeah, you have the Hermit card as well paired with the Lovers. So it's just, this is self-explanatory, right? You're being asked to kind of like go into the self-meditation and kind of fall in love with yourself. You have to start, you know, I do feel like when it comes to a spiritual path, the more comfortable that you are with yourself, the more that you're able to feel as if you have something to say or feel like your opinion matters, your views matter, the easier it is for you to commit to your spiritual path. And when you're able to go into alignment with what it is you truly believe in, not what you think you should believe in because of how it works for somebody else, you end up being able to manifest a lot more in your life. That was a long tangent. I'm sorry. All right, can everyone who is waiting for a reading let me know in chat right now, so I can pick my next victim for a long tangent. Yeah. Burnt Feathers, I remember you. Burnt Feathers, what was it that you wanted a reading on? Kiara, General. Kiara, I'll get to you. I will do you after Burnt Feathers. Hello, Miss Peace. You haven't been to a live before. Alright. So I'm going to be doing Burnt Feathers and then Kiara. Am I pronouncing both of y'all's names right? CH, ex-husband, come back for future. General. Okay. Okay. Alright, so. New or past? I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Could you explain what you mean by new or past? That feels a little bit vague for me. Like, I feel like I could go into a million directions for that, so I don't want to get it wrong for you. People always pronounce it wrong. Oh, okay, you have 2 paths ahead of you, and you're trying to make a decision. Just Lucy, I thought you were in Australia. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to always be corrected when I'm pronouncing someone's name wrong. I always try to be as self-aware as possible, even though like my name is such a bland name as a whole. I can acknowledge how irritating, or kind of just like, maybe not irritating, but it's just kind of like, ugh, when people can't, like, don't pronounce your name properly. Alright, so you want us to do new path, 2 paths ahead of you, new or old. Hello, Leia. You've been on the left-hand path for almost 2 years. It's been quite the ride. You want to know where you're at the moment, and you feel stuck right now. Hello, CEO from Seattle. Oh, what's up, Seattle? I love Seattle. I live in, I mean, do I care if people know? Yeah, I live in Bellingham. I don't live in Bellingham, I live around Bellingham. I don't live in the actual town, but close enough. Um, so, in general for you. Okay. All right. So, burnt feathers. We have, for your new, we have the Three of Pentacles as well as the Four of Water. This is talking about, I kind of like this a little bit more. I mean, see, here's the thing. I am too much of an optimist and I can see both sides of things too much to be able to like make the decision for you. So I'm just gonna like give the perspective of what I'm seeing in the cards to help you like perhaps make a decision. But I'm gonna be honest here, I can't say it's just like, oh, go with this one. I feel like that's just way too I feel like that's just like putting my own opinion far too much on a pedestal for someone else's like making a decision in their life. But yeah, for your past we have Four of Water and Three of Pentacles. This is talking about commitment in terms of like a group commitment. Group talking about a commitment and a group commitment. This is talking about like some type of long-term commitment. Four of Water talks about missing an opportunity and opening your eyes to the possibilities. Now, you could take this in one of two ways. You can take this as a way of where Spirit's telling you, like, this is a really good opportunity, but I do want to also say, initially, you may have noticed I was holding this up inverted because it could be either or. So I'm going to just be honest here, like, I put it upright out, and it could be my own projection at that point, so just to be transparent. So you could take the Four of Water saying that you're missing an opportunity going with this, right? But if we were to entertain, if this was to actually truly be inverted, I feel like at this point my intuition would be too biased right now to be able to say one way or another. You could be saying like, this could be saying like you're missing an opportunity from if you were to entertain something from the past because this would be inverted. It wouldn't be like a good long-term contract thing to have. Now we have for your future the Nine of Wands with the Six of Earth. Now this is a really good energy just because it's like this is you coming into your power. I feel like with this is letting me know someone that's going to feel a little bit more comfortable with themselves, and I do feel drawn to pull the Chariot card with this as well. So that is kind of like forward movement. This is kind of sounding like a biased reading now that I'm breaking this down, huh? With the Six of Earth as well, this card literally does talk about new career opportunities just on like the card itself. So you know I'm not just saying it just because. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a positive, like the energy that you put in, you're going to be receiving it back, if not more. It's not going to be like a energy sink where you're just investing a lot and not getting anything out of it, it seems. Thank you, Artha. Hello, Ja. I hope that was helpful to you, though, Burnt Feather. The past comes with too much confusion. This is person, so this is... Okay, I'm glad that was helpful. Good. Yeah, I never like to, that's the thing. When it comes to my readings, I like to just explain like how like the symbolism of the cards and like I approach it analytically. I have no problem saying being like I don't like if I'm not sure about something, like I leave it up to y'all at that point to like because it's like I never want y'all to think that like what I'm seeing in the cards is like some like I don't know. I like to view this as like a perspective to consider, not something to take my word or like the word of the tarot cards to like your absolute soul, not questioning it, right? Because I'm no different than y'all. I'm just a I always say like I'm just a man reading some tarot cards. All right, aloud. No, it was Burnt Feather, and then Kiara was the one that I said next. Let's see. Start bringing out the other cards. Yeah. How have you guys been doing? I always like to ask that question because new people are coming in, and I always like to just know, like, get updated. And I enjoy doing these lives so much, actually, just because it's like I truly like, because like I tell y'all the comment and like with like the readings, it's so nice to be able to like actually interact with y'all when it's like I've been like keeping tabs on some of y'all's lives for like the past year, which is crazy to think about. So it's like really cool to be able to hang out with y'all. Yeah, that's the thing, Slate. Like, I can read tarot. I actually can be, just because I can, like, take myself out of a situation pretty well. I can read tarot for myself, but it's, like, it's really hard to, for most people to do tarot by themselves, because it's, like, the better, like, the, in my opinion, right, how I gauge, like, a really good tarot reader, not that I really ever measure, because everyone has like their own translation of the cards, right? I can give you the same exact spread and someone else would have like a completely different message. But I feel like the less biased that you are, the more that you're able to detach your own opinion from something. That's the only way that you're going to be you're the only way to really get a what's the word for it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Um, the least filtered message, right? Because I like to view this as like a, you're kind of giving like spirit, your spirit guides, whatever, some flashcards to communicate a message. And the more that you project your own reality on a divine message, the more watered down, the more limiting the message becomes, right? And that's just not, I mean, that everyone does it. Like the only way to like, girl, that's a spiral. Let's get into your reading, Kara. So I pulled the shark card. This is talking about intuition, trusting your intuition. Full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is in forecast. I really like this. This is kind of an energy of where I feel like there's some hesitation in terms of some type of new beginning, because we have the page of coins in the reverse. Upright, this page in the upright, the pages represents a new journey of some type. The coins or pentacles or what have you is the representation of like earthly desires, something like in the actual physical that you're trying to manifest. So it would be like your stability energy. So it would be like if you're trying to manifest like money for like a better house, if you're trying to manifest like a stable relationship, is that kind of vibe. So there's some type of hesitation when it comes to some type of opportunity being presented to you of a new beginning. You kind of have to wipe away the old. The Ace of Cups and the Empress card is kind of like that call of power, of where it's like a, I feel like there's the decision of where it's like you kind of already know there's like a decision that you want to make, but there's still like this like resistance from like, because like the decision that you make will be, you have to let go of some things, right? Because with that shark card as well, it says when it talks about the intuition, that kind of already gives me an idea that you have an idea of what decision that you want to make. There's just some type of unsureness about it. So Spirit's really trying to just let you know, full moon in Libra, that you can't go wrong. Like, don't overthink this, is what I'm hearing. Been okay, work is stressful. This is a surreal way to communicate. You've been okay? You work in healthcare? Yeah, I used to work in healthcare as well, lady. And half my family is in the healthcare. My mom's a nurse practitioner slash. She has so many titles around her that like her titles go around her card. It's crazy. So she's a nurse practitioner, but a bunch of other things as well. You feel the same. I did a reading for myself and how the synchronicities work. You're able to catch the stream, so maybe I can have an outside perspective. Thank you, Leia. Hello, Night. All right. So, who is waiting for a reading still? Aladar, did I do you already? Did I do you already? Did I give you a reading already, Aladar? If it's your lucky day, Velka, you would love some insight. My mind is fried from an indecision of love, 15 years, no commitment. Not yet. Okay, yeah. All right. So let me start doing some readings now. Doing some readings. As if I haven't been doing readings. Um, now that we're warmed up, the readings will go by quicker. Was there? I didn't even my. You wait. I think you said general, right? Yeah, you said general. I got you, Lucy. I wish. You know what? Let me see if I can just like look up something on YouTube where I can have some copyright-free music. I really need some type of like. I mean, even in my like readings, y'all know, like I can't not have some type of like background ambient music. No copyright. There we go. All right. Let me know if it's too loud. And then we'll get to Aladar's reading. Right? Music is just so lovely. It makes everything more therapeutic, I feel. I really, also, let me know what y'all think. You guys, I've been in the midst of trying to also like do all the uploads. I've been trying to figure out what kind of like sit down talking video that I want to do next. And it's like, it's one of those things, I guess, of where it's like, do people even care at this point? So it's like, I'm trying to like make a decision on if I want to like take the time to like figure out some type of concept for like either like a subject to talk about or just to like hang out. I even thought about just like doing a video where I'm either like getting ready to record, so like I don't even do much of just like filling my eyebrows at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to think of a way to like connect with y'all. Hello, Sugar Tears. It is hard to stop. This drink good for you. It's kombucha. It's not the I mean, kombucha itself is good for you, but this one has probably not like the best taste or not the best one for you just because it's like raspberry lemon, so it has like extra stuff in it. All right, Aladar. So we have six of wands, seven of pentacles, queen of cups, queen of fire. All right. Page of fire as well. So, Aladar, what I'm getting from this is when you have Page of Fire with the Six of Pentacles, Wands equal fire in terms of elements, by the way, so this is technically Page of Wands, if we're going to consider that. But this is talking about some type of, it refers to passions, right? You're being asked to take a leap into something with this Queen of Fire or Queen of Pentacles energy. Because this card itself talks about stretching your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity on something. With this Six of Wands, I keep wanting to call this Pentacles. With the Six of Wands, this is usually talking about some type of collaborative energy where you're working with at least a couple other people, I feel. I only say that just because we do have Three of Water as well, where there is just kind of like, these cards just make me look so sickly pale when I hold them up like that. um, there is like a push for you to like work together with a group of people. Queen of Cups as well, where it's like opening your heart up a little bit more and to be more, not to say that you're not compassionate already, but it's just like having like a more warm energy to get other people involved in some type of project, so you're not stretching your wings and flying into something that by yourself, right? Seven of Pentacles kind of shows where it's going to like, it tells me it's going to be like a good investment, a good harvest for you should you actually take that leap of faith into something. Is that a sigil in the background? It is. It's Rossier, Lord Rossier. I have his I always say this with both Lilith and Rossier, where it's like I have their sigils tattooed right here. I don't think I can pull it up. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Oh, you can see one of them. Okay, yeah, you can see Rossier's right there. And then you can see a couple other sigils. But yeah, Rossier's is there. Lilith's is like right here. I don't think I would be able to show that. As for your talking series, you definitely care whatever the topic. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I sit down to start talking and then I'm always just like, is this a little bit too self-involved, just assuming people care about something else? I've always had that struggle. I don't know why. I always just get in my head. But I hope that reading was helpful for you, Aladar. There is, like, overall the energy just seems as if, like, going forward not alone on something. I feel like you need to involve other people in some type of project and you feel better about taking a leap into something. Make videos telling us about your experience. I have one already with Rossi, even though that one's like a couple years old now. Oh my god, I'm aging myself. A couple years old at this point now, and a lot has happened with me and him. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, looking, there's a couple more sigils right right there. Those two as well. Those two are tattooed on here. And I also have a sigil right here. So I don't know if you can see anymore. I have to go to the barber soon. Of course, Aladar. Alright. I mean, it's... I don't even look the same in that one. So I definitely probably... I wanted to do a series that... I just have so much I want to do. It's just more about finding the time between all the other postings I do every day. I wanted to do like a deity spotlight for each of the deities that I have worked with, like, so like with Lilith was going to be my first one where I'd like do a sit down, talk a little bit about her history, but then mainly talk about my history with her, or like history with whatever deity at the time. Because I've been spiritually practicing and connecting with beings for like 16 years. 16, 16 years, around there, give or take. And I started working initially with archangels, and then the Egyptian deities. Hello, Rainy. All right, who is next? It would be just Lucy. Just Lucy. All right. And the music's not too loud, right? I forgot to ask. Okay, thank you. All right. This is usually the parts that I edit out in my videos as well, because I usually would just like take in the reading and just like zone out for a moment. But I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying being able to just like vibe with you guys. This is I'm so glad I started doing this. It feels so nice to be able to just hang out and just throw some cards around. I see you, something. All right, so Lucy, for you, we have 8 of Air. Thank you guys, by the way. I don't think I said that. Thank you for hanging out with me. We have 8 of Air, High Priestess, and then 10 of Fire. So with this is letting me know, well, here's the thing. Let's actually, we don't need, I feel like this is kind of like individual energies. So we're do it vertically. Yeah, vertically. So for you, for the 8 of Air, the clarifier that I had is the Tower card inverted for you. Now, 8 of Air is talking about, what would be an example that I could say? It would be like the, saying, let's use myself as an example because I always like to do that. Let's say I didn't want to do tarot readings until like I had a proper background, right? So I would just continuously tell myself, being like, oh, I can't do tarot, I can't do videos right now because my background sucks, right? And so that's kind of like the limiting thoughts that I would have to stop me from doing recordings, right? Which, I mean, there are many times that I've stopped myself because of an awful background. At this point, I'm kind of at peace with it because I'm like, I don't know if y'all know, well, y'all probably wouldn't know this. I'm sitting on my bed and I have like a little table that I picked up from a thrift store, and I kind of just like, some point I want to have like, I have big ideas for like backgrounds and like, just, I'm letting y'all know that I can acknowledge just how rickety this all looks, but I have like growth one day. But I still enjoy it, regardless. Why am I making... This is what happens when I make myself an example. I just start talking about myself like I'm so self-involved. I'm sorry, Lucy. So let's get into this. So that would be like the example, right, of those limiting thoughts. When you have the Tower card in reverse, there is some type of resistance of where it's like, kind of like convincing yourself like, oh, I don't need to do some type of change, this doesn't need, I don't need to move on from this right now because I'm not either a ready or what have you. It's one of those things where you're convincing yourself of like resisting some type of change in your life. When the Tower card comes forward, I don't like, I really don't feel this is like an insane, I feel like it's kind of a localized thing of resistance. Like, so it would be talking about maybe job or like a relationship. I don't feel like it's all encompassing. High Priestess card comes in, and I pulled the clarifier with with the Six of Pentacles. So there is like, whenever the High Priestess card comes forward, this is when I know the reading in itself is going to be serves more as an affirmation message than an actual like giving insight, because this is kind of letting me know that you kind of already know. And there's some type of situation that you know is kind of like not an equal give and take energy, or where it's kind of like an energy sink for you, where people are just constantly asking for handouts for you on something, or constantly asking for your energy, but you're not getting that much back, if anything. And I feel like it's pertaining to some type of, when you have Ten of Fire paired with the Ace of Wands, or Ace of Fire technically, or Ten of Wands, this is talking about unloading some type of baggage so you can continue going forward in your life. So it's kind of unloading that baggage when it comes to whoever is asking for those handouts. Hello, Caroline. How are you doing? But because there's some type of resistance towards it, this could be just because it's a you don't want to have to let it go, because the baggage in itself represents or is either like comfortable for you, or trying to avoid conflict with someone. You watch if you had a construction paper background. Yeah, I mean, if it was just like, here's the thing, how would I put it? Like, if it was just plain, I would enjoy it. Like, if it was just like a plain, like everything was just like white behind me, or like black, I would be completely fine. But it's because I like to think kind of that I have a fairly minimalistic kind of sense of style. Like, you look at my thumbnails and it's just like I'm wearing the same shirt and the same turtleneck, just in different colors, because I like to, like, the pop out thing would be like, I have like one statement piece, but my general is like very just basic. So if I had that, then I'd be fine. But it's like everywhere that I try to set up, it's always very chaotic looking. So so it's more so because it's like so noisy. Even if I didn't have that stuff there, it just, I can go on a rant just with my background. Hello, Danielle. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing these lives every single day for the month of December. That's my version of Vlogmas. I appreciate it, Sugar. What I would ideally want as a background would be like, like I would want to, y'all, I would want to lean into my coziness vibes even more. Like, I would want to have like, I would be recording these probably on the ground, and then I would either have like some nice plants in the background, or just like beanbag. Like, I would give like the coziest vibe ever for a background. Like, one day though, we're manifesting that, right? I would also want a setup where y'all could see the cards as well. that's the thing that bothers me as well, is like y'all aren't able to just see the cards unless I'm like holding them up. Of course, Lucy, I hope it was helpful. All right, can everyone who's waiting for a reading let me know in chat so I can make my next decision for who to read next? How are you doing, Danielle? Leah, I'm gonna do you next, and I promise you guys I'm going to be flowing with these more. And also, just remember, I'm gonna be doing these every single night. So if I catch you another night, I promise you I'll get to you. And also, I'm thinking about, obviously this is so vague, but I do want to do like random live streams during the day. Probably start tomorrow as well. So that'll be like those times where it's like if I see y'all, it's probably like during the daytime. If I do like daytime live streams, if I see y'all from like the night before, that's when I will like prioritize y'all. All right, Leah. I actually don't feel. How do I feel about this? We're gonna use this angel deck as well. But you said you wanted to know why you're feeling stuck, so I may also, y'all, I'm crazy, where, just in case y'all haven't known, where it's like I like to think each of where it feels like my decks have different personalities. Like I only do this deck whenever, well, I usually don't like to use it too much besides like the bottom row if you watch any of my Zodiac videos, because it's like it's a pretty harsh deck. It's kind of like I don't pull this deck out unless I'm trying to like really go into like some detail and like potentially like step on some toes. All right. So this is cool. I like this. Your name is Leia, and then we have Lalil as the angel, which, I mean, it's cool to me because it seems like these names are like similar, but I guess not. This is the angel of night. This is kind of like the moon card. Something's being revealed to you, sort of thing. We have 3 of swords coming in, so some type of pain. 10 of swords comes in as well, where someone's put up on the chopping block, and then, as aggressive as that sounds, and then we have the wheel card inverted. I'm going to hold it upright so you can see it, but it is inverted for you. So this is kind of an energy of, I mean, I'm going to just like give it the preface of like with this moon card, but again, full transparency, like do not take this as an extremely ominous message. How I would see, like, the moon card in itself represents something being revealed to you. So this may not be as of yet, which also means that like you could avoid this as well. Anytime I'm giving like a reading like this, I always like to let people know it's kind of like being told ahead of time of like what is happening, so you can kind of like receive like a reading and get like a blueprint of like how to like avoid it potentially, right? So I don't like to like anytime I talk about this where it's like, oh, like it seems like something might like come to blows or something, like because it's like obviously like the future isn't solid, like I like to shape my readings in the sense of being like this is what's happening and this is how we can like kind of avoid it, sort of thing. So just because how I'm taking this long-winded is that there is I can't speak. There does seem to be someone there's like that has like a shift in feelings, like a shift in, because let's break this down. we have the Ten of Swords. Someone just texted me earrings and hot fries, and I'm like, so I was like so confused of what they're talking about. This is why I had that phase. Ten of Swords is talking about someone being put up on the chopping block. Could potentially be you. It could be potentially you kind of removing someone as well. But with this Three of Swords as well, there's talks about some type of pain. This wheel card, when it's inverted, it just feels as if someone just has like a weird shift in perspective of another individual or situation, and not in a wonderful way. And then and this really could, like, I talk about how like an individual is put up on the chopping block, but like that individual could just be like your higher self. Even though as much of a cop out as that sounds, it could just be like you shifting perspective, and just in terms of either like your own personality trait, being like, oh, I don't like this about myself, or just like self-reflecting and figuring something out. So let's get into it more. Queen of Coins comes in with the Ace of Swords. Queen of Coins is a type of energy of usually kind of like putting yourself first energy, where it's like when it's with the coins, this is talking about being okay with spending money, like as an example, being okay with spending money on yourself without feeling guilty, being able to do something for yourself that's some type of foundational energy and be okay with it, right? So if you wanted to do like a different job, like you wouldn't feel guilty about quitting some type of job, so you can go and pursue something that feels good to you. I feel like that's what you're being called to do. And then we have the Three of Wands coming in with the Queen of Wands inverted, where again, it feels like you're kind of like standing at the ledge of something, standing at the ledge of like being able to make an option on something. But because this Queen of Wands comes in the reverse for you, this is letting me know of like kind of just like self-doubt, right? Because we had in like the previous readings where it's like the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Fire talks about taking that leap of faith in something. It's almost like you're keeping your wings clipped for whatever reason. And that may be like that whole process with that Ten of Swords and the wheel of like in the Three of Swords is like coming to the realization of something. Of that something being why your wings are being clipped. Maybe it's like some type of outside source that's like making you feel a certain type of way, or it's internal. It could be either or. Alright, Brandy. I'm going to be doing your reading next. I hope that was helpful to you, though, Leia. Hello, Cheryl. I'm glad, Leia. Am I pronouncing your name properly? I don't know if I asked you that before. Leia or Leia? I think it's Leia. The lighting is so weird for me when it's like, I wish I could, can I? No, those are like filters. I wish I could like have it just focus on my, like, I feels like the camera itself like do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, I feel like I look so greasy. I don't know the word for it. I just look weird in this camera right now with this. It's like my camera's just not color correcting me properly, or like capturing like a weird undertone of me. I'm probably looking too hard. Maybe it's because I have too many lights. Wait, I kind of like that. Let's do that. Okay. Actually, there we go. A little less lighting, but it feels like I have like definition now. All right, Brandy. So for you, we have the Hierophant, the Page of Coins, and then the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Then we have 9 of Water, 8 of Earth, and then 7 of Earth for you. A lot of Earth energy. I feel like this Hierophant paired with the 9 of Water, overall good energy. This could be talking